welcome back to my channel. This is my reading corner that's not really a corner. So obviously, since we're in the reading corner, we're going to be talking about books today. Okay, so I need to rewind a little bit. As y'all know, I'm new into reading, and so I was looking for interesting ways to get into popular authors. The way that I'm introducing myself to today's author is by reading, rating, and reviewing their worst and best rated books. So for today's video, I will be introducing myself to Christina Lauren, which, come to find out, they're two different people. That's two different people. I think they're best friends and they just started writing books together. I'm not gonna lie, I did kind of cheat for this video in particular because it's supposed to be authors that I haven't read at all before, but this one I did read, The Unhoneymooners. I didn't give it that much of a low rating. I gave it a 3, I believe. It was enjoyable. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So going into this video, I was like, there's a chance I might love Christina Lauren's books apart from The Honeymooners, but there's a chance that I might highly dislike her books or their books. So that's the mindset I was going into this video with. Let me start off by telling you which was their worst rated book. Honey Don't List was rated 3.5 on Goodreads. Going into this book, I didn't know anything about it. Actually, going into both of the books, I didn't know anything other than their rating. So in this book, we meet Carrie, and she is assistant to Mrs. Tripp. I forgot her first name, but she also helps interior designing of some sorts. We also have James. James is an engineer, and he also works with the Tripps, but he somehow, in a sense, became Mr. Tripp's assistant to like keep him in line and help him out, which is not what he was looking for when he first applied for the job, but that's what ended up happening. So basically, it's Carrie and James's job to keep them in line because apparently behind closed doors they kind of hate each other. They're trying to keep the company afloat because Carrie needs the health insurance and James needs the work experience. And with that time of them spending time together, feelings grow, basic romance things. That's the premise of it. From the beginning, this book was like kind of a drag to read. I don't think I expected not to really like the book, but I knew it was leaning more towards, girl, what the fuck is this? When I start reading a book, usually I start by listening to the audiobook just to like get into the groove of the book. With this book in particular, I never stopped listening to the audiobook, which to me is kind of a telltale sign I'm not really gonna enjoy the book, that I'm just finishing it because I already started it. Not that the book was horrible or anything. It was okay, but the more I think about it, the lower the rating gets. Another thing about this book that relates kind of to The Unhoneymooners is I couldn't connect to the characters at all whatsoever. Like, they were literally just characters on a page. I have to connect to the characters. Like, that's a must. And this book just did not do that for me. So that was me reading Christina Lauren's worst rated book. It was a 3.5. For me, it's sitting at a 2.7 right now. Slowly ranking down to 2.5 in my mind. But right now we're sitting at a 2.7. So we're going to leave it at that. Now moving on to Christina Lauren's best rated book. Their best rated book was Love in Other Words, and it was actually rated a 4.2 on Goodreads. Going into this book, obviously I didn't know anything. I've been trying to go blindly into these books because usually I go into this whole hyperfixation and I like want to watch every TikTok about it, everything about it. So I went into these books very blindly. Okay, so in Love in Other Words, we follow Macy and Elliot. In one timeline, we follow them as children. In the other timeline, we follow them as adults. In the timeline where they're children, you see their love story progress and them slowly falling in love as children as they get older into teenage years, whatever. In their adult timeline, we follow them as they reconnect after 11 years apart. When Macy and Elliot reconnect, she is currently engaged. He currently has a girlfriend, and as soon as he sees her, literally that same night, he breaks up with his girlfriend. But at this point, he doesn't know that she's engaged, so he's like, ooh. But things go on from there. I've never read Dual Timeline. I felt like it was gonna be kind of not hard to follow, just annoying to follow. Like it was just gonna be an extra step type of thing. I was like, damn, I'm gonna hate this book. I just read 2 other Christina Lauren books. I'm gonna end up hating this book. Like I think I just don't connect to Christina Lauren. That's how I felt going into this book. I see why this was the best rated book that they have so far, because this book is so good. I'm just rooting for them so much. Like nobody understands. I'm sitting here and I'm just like, first of all, I want to know the tea, because obviously something happened in their past and that's why they broke up. I'm up to the part, if you know, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but she's talking to Elliot's little sister, and I'm just like, every single interaction about this day is like making my heart warm. As I said before, I wasn't emotionally connected to any other characters that I've read by Christina Lauren. None in the Honey Don't List and none in the Unhoneymooners. I generally did not care about those characters. But this one, I'm just like, first of all, rooting for them. Second of all, loving the family factor of this, like specifically in this scene. We're getting to the point where we're about to find out the tea, and I think I already guessed the tea, and I'm like so pissed if it happens the way that I'm thinking it's gonna happen. I cried about it. I cried about it because if he does something stupid, I swear. Well, I know he's gonna do something stupid because they stopped talking for 11 years. Oh my god, he's crying. He's crying. Guys, I can't. I literally can't. They're gonna be so sad. They're gonna be so sad. Like, I don't even care. I don't even care to what's happening on page 351. I don't care. I do not care right now. Why is this happening instead of a conversation? So exactly what I thought was gonna happen happened. I'm so mad. He better have a good explanation for this shit. There's no way to work around that. There's literally no way. Where's the conversation? What happened to hello? He had a okay, not that I didn't believe him, not that I didn't have trust in him, but I knew there was more to the story, bro. I knew there was more to the story. The way he's explaining this is not making things any better. Maybe between them, but not between us. Not between me and him, because what the fuck do you mean? Anyone that read this book in the past, let me know how the fuck you survived life after. Oh my god. I thought that his mistake was the last mistake. Oh my god. Because I don't want to go back to that other heartbreak, not this one. Who told me to read this book? This book was amazing. I genuinely enjoyed this book so much. It took me on so many roller coasters, but I loved it. I think I'm gonna turn off the camera and just cry for the rest of the night. Oh my god. As you can tell, reading this book had me very emotional. It had me literally questioning my sanity. Like, I don't know why this book hit me so hard. As I said before, I instantly connected to the characters. I instantly connected to their story. This was one of the books that as soon as I finished reading it, I was like, I want to reread. I want to reread with this new perspective. I want to reread just in general to enjoy the story again. I loved it so freaking much. And ever since I finished it, I've been trying to find things that I genuinely didn't like about it. There's something that happens. We have the grand reveal of why they're not talking. But there's, in a way, two reasons mushed into one. The first half of the reason, I'm trying to be very careful with my words. The first half of the reason is the reason why I got upset. I can't even say what I want to say without spoiling. Alright, so editing Alissa here. I couldn't find a proper way to explain to you why I hated the main plot twist of the reason why they stopped talking for 11 years without spoiling anything, but I think I found one now. Basically, it wasn't a bad reason, right? But it was so out of character that it genuinely got me upset. The reason why it didn't change my rating or my opinion on the book as a whole was because they were so deeply in love with each other that there would literally be no other reason on the planet that they would stop talking for 11 years. So it makes sense why they chose that route and why they chose that to be the conflict and the reason behind them not talking. But it does make you feel some type of way when you read it for the first time. That's the most I can say without giving any spoilers. I just wanted to add that little tidbit for you. Okay, bye. That's how I felt about Love in Other Words. 5 out of 5. Love this book. I'm gonna recommend it to everybody and their mother when they're looking for a romance and want to cry a little bit, because I cried a lot. I'm just an emotional being. I'm not gonna lie, I'm just so emotional. I hope you did enjoy the video as much as I did, because I definitely got one of my new favorite reads in this video and I'm so freaking happy. But I am wrapping this video up. That was me reading Christina Lauren's worst and best rated book as of yet. You could go down below and like this video, and while you're down there, comment your favorite Christina Lauren book. If you've read any, if you haven't, read Love in Other Words. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Click the subscribe button to be notified for the next time that I post a video. And I will see you next time. Bye.